Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today, what day is it? I don't even know. Today is Wednesday, February 2nd. Where do I even begin? Let's just start with yesterday. So, yesterday, remember I said Bill stayed home? He had a sore throat. We took COVID tests and we were negative. I had a job that wound up starting at 9:30 my time. And it was probably one of the most difficult jobs I've ever had, if not the most difficult one. The guy was a chemical engineer, and he was talking about dextrose and all of these big words, and then all of these compounds like HCO3 2 minus. So the 3 had to be like below the line and the 2 minus had to be above. It was awful. My head hurt, and I didn't get done work until 7:30. Yeah. And I hardly got a break because between my sections of editing, I had to define all of these compounds so they would come up when we typed them. And good fucking night. Like, it was no job today. I was very thankful for that. However, my boss is switching our platform to another board in ClickUp. And so I was on the phone with her about that because I'm like, where's all this stuff I put in? Like, we have jobs scheduled, especially because the arbitration in March. We have stuff scheduled. I probably had 15, 20 jobs in our assignments calendar. And I'm like, they're gone. Where are they? And she was like, oh, I moved them to the new board. Okay. And then I'm chasing down exhibits from another job we did. And then the job we did last week had like, I don't know, 35 people on Zoom. We normally have 2 people at a deposition. And so I saw someone had sent her the list of Zoom attendees. And I sent her an email and I'm like, how am I doing an appearance page? She's like, well, just fill it in the best you can. So, and what I thought was hilarious, she's like, well, I'd rather you, start it sooner rather than later. Really? Because you fucking sit on shit all the time and don't do it. Don't do it till the last minute. But I'm going to have to start working on that today at some point. And it's already like 2:30. So I got up this morning, and I know you have such grand plans, right? You have such plans to have a good day. Last night, though, no stitching. Didn't do any stitching last night because I worked till fucking 7:30. And then by the time I had dinner, I was just exhausted. I did finish, though, the series, The Woman in the Window, The Woman Across the Street from the Woman and the Girl in the Window on Netflix. I loved it. Kristen Bell, it's Kristen Bell, right? Such a fantastic actress. And let me tell you, there were so many people that hated this because you didn't understand it. It's like tongue-in-cheek. It's satire for that movie, The Woman in the Window. It had a story, though, and there was an ending, and I didn't predict it. Like, I didn't know who the killer was. Such a good show, and some of the scenes made me laugh out loud. I mean, this was done very, very well. Netflix did a fantastic job. The people who didn't understand it, you don't understand satire then. So, I loved it, though. Okay, so that was last night. I talked to my dad this morning for like 40 minutes because I hadn't talked to him all week, so we kind of caught up. And then by that time, it was almost 10 o'clock. And so I'm trying to put in laundry, dishwasher, get myself situated, get the trash cans, the bins out. And we have a wooden fence, by the way, which Bill and I built. Yeah, we built the fence on our yard right when we first got together. And depending on the weather, the wood will shrink or contract. Well, either the concrete has expanded, something has happened. where I couldn't hardly open the fence door. I had to like scrape it along and like edge the bins out, and I was cussing, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, I was like, okay. So I get those out there, and then I'm fooling with stuff with work. And my plan was, I decided I wanted to put aside the ink circles piece and stitch some Valentine smalls. I have to fucking finish something. I really just want to stitch something, finish it, get it in a journal, just get on the bandwagon of having a finish. It's been months since I've had a cross stitch finish. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the Coffee is My Valentine. It's actually called Coffee Love. It's in the February 2022 issue of Just Cross Stitch. So I have the paper copy, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have to scan the pattern to be able to put it in markup. So I scan it and I import it, and I scan it, I convert it to a PDF, and it won't recognize the pattern, and I'm not sure why. It keeps recognizing the pictures that are on the page, because there was like a color picture. So I said, all right, I need to crop the page. So I crop the page. It's still not recognizing it, and I'm like, what in the actual, like, I'm starting to lose my mind here. So I decide to print out. Now I forgot when I subscribed to Just Cross Stitch, I also got the digital version. So I'm like, oh, I actually have the PDF version. So I download that, cut those 2 pages out. It still won't recognize it. And I'm like, I couldn't understand why. So I'm like, well, let me print out the pattern part and then scan it, and it finally recognized it. But I was just like, I had to go through all this stuff, and I was just like, again, are you kidding me right now? So finally got that situated, picked out my fabric, Seraphim Fabrics 18 count Aida Caramel. And I'm like, I have to stitch something before I do this video because I haven't stitched in like 4 days. So I did get some stitching done. I got part of the C done in coffee. Now, I don't remember where I got this needle minder. No clue, because I have a shit ton of needle minders. Let's talk about the Q-snaps, the decorating the Q-snaps. Let me tell you, this was a pain in my ass today. Everything today has been a day. So this is not easy. It's not. So I ruined like 2 clamps because once I got it on there, I couldn't get it off. Yeah. And then the paper on 2 of these, this one and this one up here, it doesn't reach because I had to wind up sacrificing. I had to cut one thing in half. I was running out of the paper, and I'm like, you know what? This is going to be good enough. Because Bill will come home and he'll look and he'll be like, well, this doesn't reach all the way. Shut up. Shut up. This is the way that it's going to go. Yeah. So, but yeah, I converted the colors to Sulky. So they were using Gentle Art sampler threads, and the colors I picked, it's only 4 colors. So the smoke on the coffee cup, I'm going to do in Silver Treasure Petite Braid because they had it in gray. But the coffee color is that. The cup, I'm actually doing in like a variegated blue. The red, of course, red, and then the white is white. So very, very easy to pick out the colors. Just need to fucking finish something. Yeah, just need to finish something. So, I have so many Valentine smalls that I wanted to get started on that. So, yeah, it has been a day. It really, really has. I still have laundry to fold, still have the dishwasher to unload, and then start on my work project, which, yeah, it's going to take me a minute. But we might not have a job tomorrow. Nothing has come in yet for tomorrow either. We have stuff next week. We have 3 jobs next week and then 3 jobs the following week. So we have stuff being booked. But one good thing happened yesterday. So yesterday just was not a good day either because the job was just so, man. I have to get a breast MRI in June because I get one every 2 years. And I really didn't want to go to Downtown Mercy So my doctor was like, well, I'll refer you to advanced radiology. So, but she's like, you're going to have to get a CD of the last 3 years of your results and all that. So I got the CD from my mammogram place. So I have that. And then for Mercy, I had to fax a request. And I faxed that request like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I was saying to Bill, you know, I'm going to have to contact them because soon, if I don't hear anything, because I don't want to wait till the last minute to get this. And it came in the mail yesterday. So I was very glad about that because now I have everything. I can just make the appointment and take it. And the advanced radiology is like 15 minutes down the road instead of driving to downtown Baltimore and having to take off an entire day of work for it. So, but okay. I received both of my junk journals in the mail, and the Halloween one, I'll be honest and say I'm a little bit disappointed. I should have looked more closely at it. I'll be able to put Halloween stuff in it, but I'm really going to be limited as far as size. Because here's the Halloween one. You see how small it is. When I saw the envelope in the mailbox, I'm like, okay. But it's gorgeous. I mean, but like I said, I mean, look at the inside. I mean, I'm really going to be, it's going to have to be really, really small stuff. And I stitch everything on 18 count now. So, but look at some of the papers. Aren't they cool? Really like them. But I would love to have a bigger Halloween one for sure. I could always put it in my regular one, but I really loved the idea of having a theme just for Halloween. But yeah, there's the Halloween one. And then I did get my other one in the mail. So remember I said it was a little golden book called The Lucky Puppy? Ah, can you even right now? So it's a ribbon closure. And the book, the pages of the book are throughout. Which this just reminded me of my dog Layla that we had to get put down a couple years ago. And so, yeah, Lucky Puppy lived with his father, Pongo, and his mother, Perdita. So I'll be able to read about the Lucky Puppy. But, I mean, look at all of this stuff. And I didn't even see what that is. What is that? Peter Penguin Cream Freeze Friendly's Ice Cream. I mean, there is such cool stuff in this book. I mean, look. I will link this Etsy store down below because she has some other ones that she did. Absolutely can't wait to start putting stuff in here. This book is just so fantastically done. Absolutely love it. And like I said, that looks like a CD. Just really cool things in here. Absolutely love this one. I love that page. Look at that. Yeah, and I love that I can tie it closed with the ribbon and that, you know, the cover is of the cover of the Golden Book. So, just love this so very much and can't wait to start putting stuff into it. But, yeah, I'm going to fill these before I buy any more because these were not cheap. And, lots of smalls. So I'm going to be stitching smalls out the wazoo, right? It'll be an easy way to use up my scrapbook stuff and all of that. Excuse me. Okay. I don't know what that's for work. All right. So we have a story. And of course we have how to unfuck ourselves, how to continue to do that. The story is called The Angry Father. A doctor entered the hospital in a hurry after being called in for an urgent surgery. He answered the call ASAP, changed his clothes, and went directly to the surgery room. He found the boy's father pacing in the hall waiting for the doctor. On seeing him, the dad yelled, "Why did you take all this time to come? Don't you know that my son's life is in danger? Don't you have any sense of responsibility?" The doctor smiled and said, "I am sorry, I wasn't in the hospital and I came as fast as I could after receiving the call. And now I wish you would calm down so that I can do my work." Like, shut the fuck up, right? Calm down? What if your son was in this room right now? Would you calm down? If your own son dies now, what will you do? Said the father very angrily and being an asshole, right? The doctor smiled again and replied, doctors cannot prolong lives. Go and intercede for your son. We will do our best to help him. So the angry father murmurs to himself, giving advice when we're not concerned is very easy. Surgery took some hours, after which the doctor went out content. Thank goodness your son is saved. And without waiting for the father's reply, he carried on his way, running out the door. If you have any questions, ask the nurse. And the father's like, why is he so arrogant? He couldn't wait a few minutes so that I could ask about my son's state? So he's saying this to the nurse. And the nurse replies with tears coming down her face. The doctor's son died yesterday in a road accident, and he was attending the burial when we called him for your son's surgery. And now that he saved your son's life, he is now running to finish burying his son. So that guy probably felt like a big fucking dick, right? So the moral, right? Do not judge anyone because you never know how their life is and what they're going through. And an American Indian proverb is never criticize a man until you've walked a mile in his moccasins. Yeah, it's like, don't criticize someone until you've walked a mile in their shoes. So, got to be very careful. And like I said, I understand both sides of that. Like, I get the father being like, where the hell were you? But, doctors are on call. It's not like they're sitting there waiting for an emergency to come in. So, yeah, just take a minute before you judge somebody, right? All right, so how are we going to continue to unfuck ourselves in 2022? Okay, here's a good one. You have to see there's a problem before you can do anything about it. Yep. If you don't think something is a problem, you're not going to try to fix it or try to remedy it or whatever. Love that one too. All right. So I hope you guys are having a good day. I know I'm just like all over the place today. Having a good Wednesday. Halfway through the work week. So as always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.